The Legend of Neverland is a gacha game developed by Kunlun and GameArk. It launched globally around September 2022, with PC support added later, and plays like a hybrid of Genshin Impact and a traditional mobile MMORPG, complete with auto combat, life skills, and heavy social and PvP elements. Yeah, a gacha game with heavy PvP elements. This right here is a recipe for immediate free-to-play friendly quality. The plot is classic, almost childish good versus evil fantasy. The kingdom of Cabal was destroyed by chaotic dark forces. Players are protectors who fought back, who lost, and fell into a coma. You awaken with a flower fairy companion who guides you. The world is sustained by the goddess Flora, who turned into the Tree of Life. This caused dimensional infiltration, spawning magic monsters and conspiracies. You explore the Tree of Life. You battle dark creatures. You uncover the truths with spirits. You join the Kabbalah Adventure Association, and you team up with others to save the planet. That is it. It is a serviceable background for the gameplay, but nothing noteworthy or even remotely engaging, largely held back by its static, uninspired cutscenes. Quests feel largely monotonous. Kill X, talk to Y. It's entirely unimmersive. It exists to justify running around the world and collecting fairies rather than delivering an epic narrative like in Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves. Interestingly enough, much like Tower of Fantasy or Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds, this is an open-world action MMORPG. You get to choose a class: warrior, ranger, scholar, lancer, ninja, and you can freely switch weapons or styles mid-game with almost no penalty. Combat has active skills on cooldowns, but the game leans heavily into auto combat and auto questing. This is perfect for AFK grinding while you do other stuff, or AFK playing while you play other games that actively require your attention. Being encouraged, actively encouraged to not play the game is an indication that you probably shouldn't be. Here is the average gameplay loop. You'll navigate through a huge world with very little to warrant ever exploring it. You'll engage in various different life skills, which are largely unnecessary for the bulk of the game, probably being useful at endgame, such as fishing, cooking, crafting, mining, insect catching, and building your own homestead. You'll join a guild. You participate in guild wars, battlefield PvP. You'll level via quests. You'll raise your combat power through literally every single thing they could squeeze combat power into. It is nothing like any decent open world gacha game presently available. I mean, heck, it makes Tower of Fantasy look like Wuthering Waves by comparison. Now for the elephant in the room. This game is very heavily inspired by, and in some instances directly copies, Genshin Impact. After Googling around, there are tons of other players and other reviewers all pointing out the same thing. You cannot tell me that this image right here of Amber and, whatever that abomination of a character is are not similar. And beyond that, you cannot tell me that these environments over here, the rocky formation, the city, the entire freaking landscape aren't just copy pasted from Genshin Impact. This right here is the definition of a Genshin clone or a ripoff that barely even attempts to hide it. Sure, not an exact one-to-one copy, the entire game at least, but the similarities are so freaking blatant that it launched with a reputation as an autoplay dollar store Genshin Impact for lower spec phones. Some people love it because it scratches that Genshin itch that they have without having to support a Hoyoverse game. Others dismiss it immediately for the plagiarism. The main gacha is the link system for flower fairies, your combat companions that give you huge stat boosts, skills, formations. Rates are approximately 2.8% for Superb, which are the SSR or the orange tier, 11.3% for Epic, the purple tier. Pity is decent on paper. You get an Epic every 10 pulls, a Superb every 80 with milestone rewards like fragments. You level your fairies, you ascend them with dupes and fragments, and you build squads. In terms of free-to-play friendliness, it's definitely playable, but not if you plan on ever being competitive. You can clear story content, and you can enjoy the game casually by focusing on events and dailies and one strong fairy at a time. PvP and endgame guilds are very predominantly whale territory. New servers become horrifically pay to win very, very quickly. This is a significant case of pay for dominance. Honestly though, if you're purely casual and you ignore leaderboards, it's fine. It could actually be a lot worse. Now let me go ahead here and break down why exactly this game is good and also why this game is bad. It is an aesthetically appealing open world anime game on mobile that feels very expansive. It has this super chill and accessible vibe. The auto features mean that you can actually progress through the game while multitasking, which is great for low-end devices. The game is really cute. The flower fairies are adorable companions that you can customize, you can squat up with, and you can watch them fight with you. There are social and MMORPG features, playing with friends or guilds in this shared world. There are guild battles. There are community features. There's actual, real, genuine multiplayer functionality present. It's very flexible, the class and weapon switching, the life skills, giving variety beyond just the pure combat. It is genuinely relaxing and fun for what it is, an autoplay, social, low-commitment gacha MMO. It is, however, extremely grindy and repetitive after the honeymoon phase. Quests are just fetch, kill, talk loops. It is heavily pay to win. Combat power gaps are massive. Whales dominate PvP, they dominate guild wars, they dominate late game, which means that free-to-play players effectively feel like food for whales. The story and the depth are ridiculously shallow. The auto combat makes high-level play feel just passive for some, and the majority of the game actually feel passive. Monetization is horrifically aggressive. The plagiarism is just so unbelievably blatant, and they do not seem to care. And it lacks any soul. There's no originality in this game at all. The number one reason it catches instant hate is how blatantly this game rips off Genshin Impact's homework and then just does it worse. The floating fairy companion, check. Almost identical gacha banners and event UI, check. Anime open world aesthetic, check. People see the ads or screenshots and they immediately label it as a cheap counterfeit. It feels like the devs just looked at Genshin Impact's success and thought, you know what, let's just make an autoplay mobile MMO and then squeeze every single cent we can out of it. It's a different genre, so people aren't going to be able to make that connection, right? That reputation just stuck so hard with it from launch and it never faded. And the people that feel that way are just, they aren't wrong. The combat power gaps are ridiculous. On a new server, you can keep up for like a week or two as a free-to-play player, then the whales just roll in with thousands spent on fairies, gear enhancements, battle passes, and suddenly you're just getting one shot in PvP and guild wars and battlefield events, which isn't fun at all. Endgame has almost no meaningful new content beyond just bigger numbers and the same event on loop. Honestly, it felt as though I clicked autopath for just 20 hours and I still have no idea what's even happening. Don't even get me started on the rampant cheating, the no cooldown hacks, the double attack scripts, etc., ruining PvP and boss content. If you are purely casual, if you ignore the leaderboards and you just want to vibe with, I don't know, fucking fairies while multitasking, the hate might not apply to you, but for anyone who wants fair competition, engaging gameplay, or a game that respects your time, it's easy to see why so many people call this game trash and just move on. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment, so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you are not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.